What's up, everybody? Welcome in. It's the most magical time of year. It is a fantastic time. I look forward to this all year. What about you?
I said it last night with Jim, man. March Madness leading into the Masters, for me, it's like, besides the start of football season, it's like peak sports.
Oh yeah, and I hate spring. Spring is terrible. I think it's the worst season by far. So March Madness is like a little glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, let's get right into it. This is your perfect March Madness bracket done by basketball experts who are
Yeah.
never wrong. So
Yeah.
take it and run with it. We're going to be going through the bracket every single game, giving our opinion. And since there's two of us in the scenario in which we disagree, we have a handy dandy coin.
Yeah, we got a Tennessee coin like we did last night when I did it with Jim in a nice little casing, too. I'm never going to lose this coin. It's going to be the coin for here on into forever for March Madness picks when there's a tie.
Well, it's
So,
very cute, and you know what? It'll give us some interesting results. So
yeah.
let's throw a wrench into it a little bit. So we went into this blind, by the way. I've been on shows already doing brackets. Ryan has done a show giving his bracket. We haven't watched each other's. We don't know what we're gonna say. I mean, we're best friends and we do it every year, so we kind of probably know. But it's we're going into it. We're just diving right in. So
Yeah.
without further ado, Ryan. All right. So the first matchup, you have number one Duke and number 16 Siena, the Siena Saints, in the tournament for the first time in 15 years. So, Ryan, this is a tough one. Duke might get caught up. I'm just kidding. Siena
Yeah.
has zero chance. Let's go ahead and move on.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to spend time on those. I mean, there's only one of those matchups like that I might spend a few seconds on. So yeah,
Okay. Okay. Well, the next one is definitely one you can spend some time on. So, number 8, Ohio State, number 9, TCU. It's a coin flip game. The spread's very close. Ohio State really picked it up towards the end of the season. They have a couple of veteran guards. Uh, that experience I like a lot in March. I'm leaning Ohio State. What say you?
uh, TCU beat Florida. And that's why I'm picking TCU. So
Okay.
I'm any team that can do that. I don't care when it was is pretty good. I know Ohio State. They played Michigan very well in the Big Ten tournament. They are playing well, but I'm just feeling a little froggy. So first trip
What?
to the coin, I guess.
Okay.
You can call it first.
Fails.
All right. Heads.
TCU it is.
The Hypnotoads have moved on.
That's one of those ones that I really like. It's really 50-50.
Yeah.
St. John's 5 seed, the Fighting Rick Pitino's against number 12 Northern Iowa. So if you're me and Ryan's age, you remember Northern Iowa
Yep.
making a run in the tournament. That half court shot against Texas. Ryan knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I do. I do. It
Um,
was 2016. It was craziness.
do I think that that's going to happen again? I do not. I think St. John's, they play very good defense. Um, I'm not picking Rick Pitino to lose in the first round of a mid major.
I'm not either. Um, Northern Iowa, as far as tempo goes, is 363rd out of 365 teams on Ken Palm, and
Not
I
the
don't th-
makings of an upset.
I don't think that's the formula to beat St. John's, who for whatever reason is a 5 seed. They've been playing insane. I mean, they won the Big East, so I mean, I think they should be seated higher, and I think
100%.
they're poised to make a run.
Don't get me wrong. There are. I don't think Northern Iowa was the worst 12 seed in the world, but it's just a bad matchup.
Yeah.
So St. John's moves on. Number 4, Kansas. Number 13, Cal Baptist. This is Cal Baptist's first ever tournament appearance, so that's pretty cool. I don't think it's going to be a very long one, though. It's kind of like the same thing with the previous matchup. I'm not going to bet against one of the best coaches of all time against an inexperienced team who's never been there before. I mean, I'm not super high on Kansas. I don't know how you feel. Not picking them to go that deep, but I think they can do enough, even without Darren Peterson. I think they're plenty good enough to beat Cal Baptist.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's really the story of this matchup, unless it somehow is a game, is how much does Darren Peterson play? I think that'll be the story.
Sometimes they look better without him.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Tennessee without him.
Yeah.
I mean,
they beat Houston without him.
Yeah, I mean that's the main storyline for Kansas pretty much in this tournament to me. So, but I am going with Kansas as well.
All right, so Kansas and St. John. That's two of the best coaches of all time meeting in the round of 32. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So this one might be a coin one. Number 6, Louisville. Number 11, South Florida. So Louisville, I think you can say they maybe underachieved this year. I mean, they had high expectations after overachieving last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mikael Brown Jr., probably going to be a top 10 draft pick. He's been hurt. I don't know if he's really hurt or if they were just saving him for March Madness. But I don't think South Florida is a very good matchup for Louisville. South Florida can shoot the lights out. They out-rebound Louisville. I think South Florida is primed for an upset here. Their coach just got a new job, so he's looking to impress a little bit more. I like South Florida here.
Yeah, South Florida goes fast. Like you said, Louisville it's really like Tennessee this year. They are ranked or they're seeded 6 when they're 19th in KenPom. Tennessee's seeded 6 when they're 16th in KenPom. You expect that to earn you a higher seed, but the results are just not there outside of the metrics. It's interesting. USF does. I mean, their tempo is top 20. Their offense is great. But I would say Louisville finds a way to win. So I guess we're going to the coin.
Okay. You call it.
I'll go with tails. It's heads again. Tails is failing. So South Florida.
Alrighty.
Moving on.
Cute. All right. So now we will go to Michigan State, North Dakota State. Once again, another legendary coach playing against a decent mid-major team. North Dakota State, I think it's their first time making the tournament in like 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool story. I do think North Dakota State has some Cinderella potential, but not against Michigan State. I think with just the veteran experience of Michigan State, Tom Izzo, it's as simple as that. I just don't think they're going to – again, I'm not super high on Michigan State, but high enough for them to get past North Dakota State.
Yeah. Tom Izzo, I mean, you just – here's some advice. When you're filling out a bracket, don't have them losing before the Sweet 16. I mean, that's my advice. Tom Izzo's too good. The only time he really got upset, I can't remember another one, it was against Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
Almost, I guess it's been more than 10 years now, but 2 versus 15 matchup there. But I don't think that happens again this year.
So UCLA, so Michigan State moves on.
Yep.
UCLA, the 7 seed, the Fighting Mick Cronin's, and the 10 seed UCF. So Mick Cronin's going to be very pissed because he has to fly across the country to Philadelphia in a shitty Allegiant plane.
Mm-hmm.
That might affect morale. You never know. Here's the thing about this game. UCF can shoot the lights out. But Donovan Dent is the best player in this game, and he's only been better as the season's gone on. UCLA's actually played better. There's been times like at the beginning of the season I just wasn't impressed with UCLA. But, I mean, they barely lost to Arizona. They barely lost to Gonzaga. They beat Purdue. They beat Illinois. They beat Michigan State. it's a battle tested team. UCF is exciting, but I think UCLA they're pretty battle tested, man. I think they can do enough to win this game.
I would agree with you. Mick Cronin, me and you both have talked about it. He's the funniest coach in college basketball, and it's not even a competition. I mean, this dude says what he thinks at all times. Um, but yeah, I would agree with you. UCLA has played an insane Big Ten slate. I mean, and I think they will have enough to get past UCF there.
All right, moving on. Final game in this region, you have number 2 UConn, number 15 Furman. So Furman has pulled an upset or two off in the past. Not as a 15 seed though, and I don't think they're going to do it this year. I just think UConn's too good. It's a team that's been here before.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much analysis needed there.
Yeah, they're also coming off a 20-point loss.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that
You
Big
know
East.
they got. Can you imagine what it was like in that locker room?
Yeah, not great. I would not want to be there. But yeah, UConn moves on pretty easily there, in my opinion.
All right, Florida obviously is going to move on.
Yeah,
Playing
I,
either.
I, I do think that's a pretty interesting 16 seed playing game, but whoever wins that is going to get blasted. So
Yeah. Lehigh, the pride of CJ McCollum.
yeah, I mean that's a team who's done something similar in the past to Duke,
Yep.
but I just don't see it this year.
No, not as a 16. This is another interesting one. The 8-9 ones are very good. The 8-9 and the 7-10s, I think, are very good this year. So you have
Yeah.
9 seed Iowa, 8 seed Clemson. What's interesting about this is Iowa is actually favored. I don't know how much you read into that, but they're a lower seed and they're favored. Obviously, they have Bennett Sturts, who came over with their coach from Drake. They won a March Madness game last year at Drake. It's a very experienced team. They're kind of a one-man show, though, to be honest. Iowa scores more points and allows fewer points, but their record against top 25 teams is not very good. So I don't really know what you make of that. This is a true coin flip to me. I'm going to go Iowa because they have the best player.
Yeah. Iowa, they're when you just look at the logos, just recent basketball history, and I'll give Clemson some credit. They've come on in the last few years as far as tournament success, but Iowa's just it's just you think of them more when it comes to basketball. Even though this looks like a Quest Bowl matchup, we get it as an 8-9 game in the first round. But yeah, I'm in agreement. Iowa moves on.
Yeah, again, wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way, but you go with the best player in this situation.
And now
So
we
next
get to
up,
the most annoying story in March Madness for the last 3 years.
yeah, hey, it's two annoying stories. It's a team that I hate and a team with a manager that I hate. So Vanderbilt is the 5 seed playing against 12 seed McNeese. Obviously, I think this is McNeese's 3rd year in a row.
Yeah, it's either 3rd year or 3 of the last 4, something like that.
Amir Oracan, they're going to have the camera on him 90% of the freaking time. But I don't think that this McNeese team is as good as last year's McNeese team, obviously, when they won a game. I think this Vanderbilt team, unfortunately, is very good. They have very good guard play with Tanner and Duke. I just think that's way too much for McNeese to handle. McNeese does. I don't know if you've noticed. McNeese actually does have a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
They allow less than 70 points a game, which is actually pretty crazy. But they don't play teams like Vanderbilt very often. I think Vanderbilt's guards are going to lead them to a victory here pretty easily.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do think when you play 3 games in 3 days, you always have to worry about that. In Vanderbilt's case, how are you going to be, 4 or 5 days later?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it causes them to lose this first round game. So we'll go with the Doors as much as it pains me.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they lose. It'd be hilarious, but
Yeah, I mean
it's kind of a catch-22 though, because then if they lose, then you got to hear about the freaking Amir Khan story again.
I would rather hear that 100 times over, man. I just him and his boombox rolling over Vanderbilt just injected into my veins.
So the next one is interesting because you have 4 seed Nebraska and 13 seed Troy, Nebraska ball. So Nebraska has been historically terrible. They've never won a tournament game. I think are they the only power conference team that's never won a single tournament game?
It's got to be less than 5 if they're not the only one.
Because I know Boise State's never won one, but they're not a power conference.
Yeah,
they've got to be. It's got to be one or two. Do you think they finally get it done now? I'll let you go first.
yeah, I do. Nebraska was undefeated for a good portion of the season. You know, then they got into the meat of their conference schedule in the Big Ten, which is you're not going to go undefeated against that schedule. Don't care who you are. Even Michigan lost games. But yeah, I do think they finally get their first March Madness win here.
I mean, I just don't see how Troy's going to score on Nebraska. I mean, Nebraska is another team that's got a defense that allows 66, 67 points a game. I mean, I just don't see how Troy's going to break through that.
Yeah. It would take some craziness for sure.
So Nebraska moves on. This one is an interesting one. 6 seed in North Carolina, 11 seed VCU. So here's the thing about this. Obviously, your casual basketball fan is going to look at this and immediately pick North Carolina because of who they are. But the thing about it is North Carolina is without their best player, top 5 draft pick, Caleb Wilson. He ain't coming back. And they're very uninspiring without him. I mean, he single-handedly wills them to wins. VCU's not incredible at anything. They do have a good offense. They can shoot. But North Carolina's got a good defense. I just don't think – this is probably my biggest upset so far. I think VCU can take down North Carolina without their best player.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the casual fan filling out their brackets is going to see North Carolina's logo and pick them to move on. Without knowing, like you said, Caleb Wilson's not going to be with them. But this team also – it was with Caleb Wilson, but this team also took down Duke, who is, top 2 team in the field to me. I'm going to go with North Carolina to at least advance past the first round, so I guess we're going to the coin. And it's your call.
Heads.
Tails. I'm sorry.
It's fine. This is interesting. I like this.
The Commonwealth loses to the coin.
All right. This one I feel like you'll have some interesting insight on. You kind of teased it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, 3 seed Illinois, 14 seed Penn. You go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. Fran McCaffrey, who was Iowa's former coach.
Yep.
He was their coach when they were, making the good runs in March Madness. The Garza years, the time when Tennessee almost lost to him in the round of 32 after blowing that lead and that game going into overtime. It was him. If I were to pick a 3 over 14, this is my 3 over 4 or 14 over 3. This is it. So I'm going to go with Penn. It seems like one of the Ivies always has something. It seems like that's at least every 2 years.
So the thing that worries me about it is Illinois has the number 1 offense in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what Penn's going to do about that. I think you might know this, but I should have researched this. Penn has a player that was a top 20 recruit in the country in the class of 2022, I think.
Yep.
He played at Kentucky, and he left, and now he's at Penn, and he's their best player. If he has a crazy game, I can kind of see it. Wouldn't be my 14 over 3 though.
Okay, we'll go to the coin. I will say Penn is like a top 15-ish team as far as the luck rating is concerned in this tournament. So the ball bounces their way. But we're going to the coin. My call, I'll go with heads. That was cheating. Hold on. It's still heads. Still heads.
All right. The coin is never wrong, Ryan. So
Yeah, I mean,
that kind of actually, I'm actually kind of glad it was heads because you got the North Carolina. I would have picked VCU, so at least we still get an upset here.
yeah, I mean, it's just the luck rating. The ball bounces their way. The coaches has played Illinois a lot.
Yeah, true.
Versus
that's true. That's a good point.
Same coach, and then it's just the Ivy League magic happens. Like I said, at least every 2 years.
All right, so the next one, I'm very confident in this one, like extremely confident. St. Mary's is getting it done, man. They have an incredible defense. They've beaten Gonzaga. They don't play in the best conference, but I mean the conference did get 3 teams in the tournament, so it's not as bad as it usually is. Mm-hmm. St. Mary's knows how to play defense, man. They are in the tournament all the freaking time. They never do anything. This is the year that they're going to get a win or two.
Yeah, just watching that A&M team and Bucky McMillan's first year in the SEC. I mean, it's not easy to get press style game and handle that. That's why they had such success. I would go with A&M. So I guess we're going to the coin again.
Okay. Tails.
All right. We got tails.
Let's go, right. Catholics.
That's fine. I mean, I will say, just it's a spoiler, but I do think whoever wins this is losing in the second round. But Houston, Idaho. Yeah.
Obviously, Houston's going to beat Idaho. I mean,
yeah.
All right.
Well, so let's scoot on over to the Midwest. No, not the Midwest. Sorry. The West.
All right. So the West. So number 1, Arizona, number 16, Long Island. I do think Long Island is the best 16 seed, but Arizona is probably the best number 1 seed. So.
Ooh, interesting.
There you go.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, this is like we said, we're not going to spend a ton of time on those.
The next one we've got is 8 Villanova, 9 Utah State. This is another one where casuals will just see Villanova's logo and realize that they're really good usually. But I would advise against that. This Utah State team, I think they're underseeded. I think they could have been a 7 seed, 6 seed. Their coach was pissed that they were a 9 seed. Granted, they didn't play a single top 25 team. They're 0-0 against top 25. But that offense, man, that offense travels. They shoot the lights out of the gym. That Utah State's a team I really, really think. If they weren't a 9 seed, I would predict them to win multiple games.
Yeah. They're hot too. Won their tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Villanova, I mean, this is their first trip to the tournament. And I might be dead wrong, but it seems
it's been a couple years since Jay Wright.
Yeah. But yeah, you're totally right. I mean, people are going to see Villanova and pick them to move on just because of that V there. But I think Utah State has what it takes.
Yep.
This might be the best game of the first round to me.
Yeah, this might be like 97-99 final score. These are 2 teams that don't miss. 2 high-powered offenses. High Point, this is their second year in a row making the tournament. They were a trendy pick last year. They ended up getting beat pretty handily. I hate this matchup. I hate it. I mean, I like it because it'll be fun to watch, but I hate that they're playing Wisconsin because I feel like Wisconsin matches up pretty well with them. There's a lot of teams I would pick High Point to win against. I think Wisconsin, they're hot, they're experienced, they've got shooters. I just think Wisconsin is going to do enough to eke out a win, but I think it'll be very close.
Yeah, Wisconsin has been playing well, but and High Point, I mean, they're a fun team to watch. But I would say High Point covers the spread.
Yeah, for sure.
And it'll be a great game in the first round. But I do think the higher seed moves on in Wisconsin.
Number 4, Arkansas. Number 13, Hawaii. So Hawaii hasn't been in the tournament for a while, so it's kind of cool to see them back in it. It's kind of unfortunate that they're playing Arkansas. I mean, that's a battle-tested team that's got veterans. Yeah. Brazil, they've got so many players that Hawaii's not matching up with them. I think this is a pretty easy Arkansas dub.
I'll be honest, I don't know a damn thing about Hawaii basketball, but I do know Arkansas is red hot, and they've been probably the second best team in the SEC all year. So Arkansas moves on.
So the next one, BYU, and then either Texas or NC State. Does it matter to you which of those teams wins that?
No, it doesn't. I would say NC State probably wins it because Texas has lost something like 5 of their last 6.
Yeah,
they're limping into it. They're honestly lucky to make it. But Devanza, I mean, he's an NBA player. I think it comes through there.
He's probably the best player in college. I mean, he's averaging like 25 points a game. I think he's going to do enough to get them at least past this round.
Yep.
Gonzaga, 3 seed, Kennesaw State, a 14 seed. Yeah, Gonzaga, honestly, they've gone to the point where they might actually be a little bit underrated for once. They lost to Portland, which looked pretty bad. But then again, they lost 3 games all year. So it's still a very good team. I think Gonzaga will have no problem getting past Kennesaw.
I think they advance, but and I'm not going to pick Kennesaw, but Kennesaw does play fast. So it might give them trouble at times, but I think they got enough to get past the Sun Belt champion.
The next game, 7 Miami, 10 Missouri, it seems like a true toss-up to me. It's basically a home game for Missouri. It's in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Missouri has a few really good SEC wins. Miami plays in the ACC, which is kind of down this year. I'm going with Missouri here.
Me too. When Missouri's clicking, they're tough to beat. And like you said, they're playing in St. Louis, so
it's going to be a home game.
I think that'll be enough to see them move on to the round of 32 there.
Moving on, 2 seed Purdue is playing that 15 seed, that school in North Carolina. Purdue is going to win by 60. This is a veteran team. This is actually the biggest spread. So Purdue, Braden Smith, he's annoying as hell. He's probably one of the best point guards in the country. That's just the team it happened a couple years ago. It's happened a couple times. It's not going to happen to Queens. I'm sorry.
I think you're speaking from a place of jealousy.
No. Completely objective.
You know what? I'm probably going to piss you off. I picked Queens last night. I'm picking them again. I'm just feeling Queens. I watched that game against Austin Peay. It's the only time I've watched them, but they have guys who can score. They have guys who can shoot. And Purdue plays pretty slow, even though they do have the best offense. If they're not hitting shots, I think Queens could get it done. I know this is the most ridiculous pick that I'll make tonight, but I'm feeling Queens.
Save me coin.
I forget whose call it is, but I'll let
yours.
I'll let you call it since this is personal.
Heads.
All right. Tails.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Queens.
You were the worst. Okay.
I'm being genuine. I'm not just trying to make you mad. I
I
think
know.
Queens has, if I'm not mistaken, they have a 77th ranked offense.
They
That's
do.
far and away
But
the best of these high seeds here.
they do have the best offense of any of the low, but they have they're like 350th in defense.
Yeah.
But you never know though. It is Purdue. I mean,
Purdue has lost a lot of these games where they were supposed to win. Like in years past, they were one of the 2 1 seeds to lose to a 16 seed. They lost as a 4 seed one year. I can't remember who it was against, but they've lost these games in the past. So, do we need to spend time on Michigan and the
nope.
16 seed play in?
Nope.
If you're asking me, Michigan's the best 1 seed. I know you said Arizona, but I think Michigan is just an absolute wagon.
They're probably the deepest, yeah.
I said this last night, Bryce. If Rick Barnes were to retire, I'm calling the St. Louis coach. I feel like he's the next big thing as far as these mid-major coaches go.
Well, unfortunately, he just signed an extension, but
Hey,
yeah,
I'm not saying Rick Barnes retires this year.
that's true. Well, I guess you're going St. Louis then, because I am. I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to carry St. Louis.
Yeah, that's the best nickname in college basketball. And yeah, I think they have enough. Even though Georgia's been playing pretty well before they bowed out to the Ole Miss run in the SEC tournament, I think St. Louis still gets it done there.
All right, well, here's another. We're getting into some interesting games here. Number 5, Texas Tech. Number 12, Akron. So the case could be made. A lot of the talk all year was about Miami, Ohio. I mean, the case can easily be made that Akron is actually the best MAC team. I mean, for one, they won the tournament. They won their conference tournament. So that their offense is one of the best in the country. They're one of the best shooting teams in the country. They only lost 1 conference game all year. And Texas Tech doesn't have their best player. I mean, JT Toppin isn't walking through those doors.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it JT or Jacob? I get them confused.
I think it's JT. I'm pretty sure.
Well, he's out for the year. So Texas Tech without their best player, and Akron has a top 20 offense in the country. I'm going Akron. This is their year. The Zips, baby.
Yeah, I mean, me and Jim talked about it last night. Texas Tech is just a completely different team without Toppin. They still have good players. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, me and Jim went to the coin last night. But I'm feeling a little zippy today. So
Let's go.
I'm gonna go with Akron too.
Oh, okay. This is where it gets hard with brackets. So I wish that this next game, number 4 Bama, 13 Hofstra, I wish it wasn't where it is, because is a 13 seed really going to play a 12 seed in the second round? Probably not. I mean, I don't think that's ever happened.
Maybe, I don't know.
But I do think Hofstra could upset Alabama. Like, I really do. Alabama's defense is atrocious. Hofstra can score like crazy. Hofstra, I don't know if you know, Hofstra has a really cool story. Speedy Claxton, former NBA player, is their head coach. He took them to the tournament this year for the first time in 25 years. The last time they made the tournament was when he was a player for Hofstra. So he took him as a player and he brought him back as a coach. Really cool story. I really do think they could upset Alabama, but I think Alabama will win in a high-scoring affair.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about it because I just want to. I think it's funny. Aiden Holloway had enough weed in his apartment to host a Grateful Dead concert, so he's not going to be playing. How much? Are you
sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because Brandon Miller basically
the whole deal is it's not a Oates decision. He got kicked off of campus. He has to go to the student affairs investigation process. So if it were up to Nate, you know he's playing, but it's not up to Nate. But yeah, I mean, how much will that affect him? I don't know. I still think they have enough to get it done though against Hofstra.
All right. Well, what about this next one? This is the Tennessee Vols. I'm assuming you don't think it really matters who wins the play-in.
I will say I'm much more scared of SMU than I am of Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, Boopy
Um,
Miller. Boopy
yeah, I
Miller,
mean
badass.
Tennessee's tendency to let guards just absolutely kill them this year. It's that worries me if it's SMU, but I do think at the end of the day, Tennessee's going to play bully ball and move on to the first round, no matter who that is.
I mean, it just
I
makes me
move on to the
nervous
second round.
because
Sorry, yeah,
losing to a double-digit seed would not be the first time. So, I mean, Oregon State, Loyola,
yeah,
there's precedent. Florida Atlantic was a 9. I mean, there's precedent, but I do think Tennessee gets it done no matter who it is.
yep. I would agree.
So the next game, Virginia and Wright State. I'm not super high on Virginia. I don't think they're an especially impressive 3 seed. I do like their front court though. I just they have enough talent to get past Wright State. This isn't an upset I'm super concerned about.
I agree with you. I think Virginia moves on without much trouble there.
So the next one's interesting. You have 7 seed Kentucky and 10 seed Santa Clara. This is the third team from that Gonzaga St. Mary's conference. Um, the thing about Santa Clara is they actually have a better offense and defense than Kentucky.
Yeah,
So they have a better record against top 25 teams too. So, you might say it's, biased because we hate Kentucky, but I honestly think Santa Clara is better. They're very long. So if you looked at Santa Clara's roster, pretty much everybody but their point guard is 6'7" or taller. They have great length. I just think Santa Clara is a pretty good team. They're really good 10 seed.
yeah, they're underseeded. I mean, for sure. I mean, I don't know how they're even a 10 seed, but I'm glad they are because they're playing Kentucky. Um, I had this last night too. I mean, I I don't want to say it's just me hating Kentucky that makes me pick it, but Santa Clara is a good team. Like that's the main reason I'm doing it.
I mean, it's really not. I mean, it is kind of biased a little bit, but I mean, I really do think Santa Clara is good. And until Kentucky actually makes a deep run again, I'm not going to pick them to. So, suck it.
Yeah, true. As good of a story as this next one is, Bryce, with our close neighbors in Nashville, Tennessee State, making it for the first time in 30 years. Do they have enough at all to even cover the spread?
No, they don't have a prayer. This is going to be a 30-point victory.
Yeah, I think Iowa State is is legit. I think they have a chance to get to the Final Four. Honestly,
Yeah, I do too. I think Tennessee State could have been a 16 seed. Yeah. Moving on to the second round. So we have Duke and TCU here. Um, you know, obviously, I think Duke is very, very, very good. Are arguably the best player in the country. I think Ohio State's going to beat TCU, so I'm obviously going to go Duke here.
I got you. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time. TCU, they have enough to get past Ohio State, but Duke is just it's one of the wagons this year. There's 5 to 6 wagons to me that
Yep,
it wouldn't surprise me at all if they won the national championship. So
agreed. Here's a classic legendary battle right here. 2 storied programs, 2 storied coaches. Who's going to come out on top? This is where I'm going to go with strictly vibes.
mhm.
Vibes in Kansas have been off all year, and I just think Rick Pitino is. I think they're going to do enough. Zuby Ejiofor is going to take over. That defense is going to be enough. Darren Peterson will probably quit halfway through. St.
Yeah.
John's is going to St. John's is going to do enough to get past it. I think.
Yep. I'm on board with that. Rick Pitino, just considering where he's been, pretty much since he came back from the NBA, I think he's one of the best coaches in college basketball history.
100%. He's won everywhere he went, with hookers or not.
Yeah, I mean, and you go to St. John's, who was a dead program since the '80s, and you
Mm-hmm.
have them where they are these last 2 years. I don't think a repeat of that second round last year happens again, where they should have beat Arkansas and just their best player just went MIA. I think they move on past Kansas.
Agreed. So moving on down, South Florida and Michigan State. Again, like you said, I don't think you need to spend much time here.
Yeah,
I think
I,
you don't count against Izzo this early. I think Michigan State moves on.
yep, 100%.
Go down here to two of the funniest coaches in college basketball.
I would say the top two, and the third is Hurley's brother at Arizona State.
Well, not anymore. Now
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
on the unemployment line right now. UConn, UCLA is a good story, but I think UConn just has too many playmakers. They've all been there before. I think UConn moves on here.
I would agree.
All right, moving on down. So, Florida, I mean, again, this is one of those wagons. Anytime you can beat Florida, it's very impressive. When they're firing on all cylinders, I mean, they have size, they have shooting, they have defense. What has like one really good player. I don't think Bennett Sturts is going to be able to keep them in this one.
No, I would agree. Like you said, it's one of the wagons.
Now, this one, 5 seed Vanderbilt and 4 seed Nebraska, this might come down to the coin. I could see it either way. I could see Nebraska shutting down the guards at Vandy. I could see them having a hard time scoring, but I could also see Nebraska having a hard time scoring. I don't think this will be a particularly high-scoring game. They're both battle-tested, but I'd probably slightly lean Vandy, unfortunately.
I mean, I do think Nebraska. I mean, they got the 7th best defense according to Ken Palm. Of course, Vandy has the 7th best offense according to Ken Palm. Just depends on what you value more in this situation. I value defense more in March. I think, and especially like I said when we were talking about Vanderbilt in the first round, this will be their 5th game in a week. So I'm going to go with Nebraska. So I guess we're going to the coin.
Yeah. You know what? Don't even do the coin because I don't feel that strongly about it.
The 5th game in a week thing, I mean, that's
a thing.
And then, I think it matters less if you're a top 2 seed. That's really the time it really doesn't matter to me. Because you're going to be playing a less caliber team. But when you're a 5 seed, yeah, you're playing a team that can exploit that, especially when you're talking about as good of a defense as Nebraska. So that's my logic there.
All right. So this one's hard because I don't really.
Yeah, the second round matchup that you completely disagree with.
I mean, obviously, I would. If Penn's going to beat Illinois, I'm obviously going to think that they can beat North Carolina without their best player. That's my thinking here.
Let's do it. Ivy League to the Sweet 16.
Let's go. Who wouldn't like that, though? I mean, that would be one of those weird stories that.
Yeah, it would be like, what was it, Princeton 2 years ago or 3 years ago? Yeah.
So the next one, I mean, I'm a big believer in Houston. They get so close every year. They're just a solid fundamental team. I feel bad picking against my Catholic brothers, but we're going to go Houston here, I think.
Yeah, we got the 5th ranked defense against the 19th ranked defense on Ken Palm. Bet the under, but Houston knows how to play in the bet the under games. So
I was literally going to say, like, Houston is just a better version of St. Mary's.
Yeah. St. Mary's is Houston from Timu. So
rip.
West, second round. Here we go.
So this is an interesting game. Number 1, Arizona. Number 9, Utah State. I actually think Utah State has the offense to keep this interesting. But I do think Arizona is just too good, man. I think Koa Pete and Braden Burries, and I just think they have enough to get past. I'm not too worried about Arizona losing yet.
I would agree. Arizona, that's one of the wagons. I mean, it's we were talking about this last night. I mean, it's after last year, going chalk is not boring anymore. If you want to be right,
No, I
um,
mean, you got to pick a couple upsets, but a couple years ago, like FAU and Miami making the Final Four, like that's the exception, not the rule.
yeah, the highest seed was a 4 seed, and I think NIL is caught up enough to where the good players are concentrated on the biggest schools, and it pains me to say I think the days of upsets might be it might be just one or two a year
Yeah.
here in the very near future. But yeah, Arizona moves on.
Number 5, Wisconsin. Number 4, Arkansas. This could sneakily be like one of the best games of the second round.
I think it is the best second round game.
Again, I think this could go either way. This is 2 battle-tested teams. I'm going to go with Arkansas, John Calipari,
Yeah,
Trevor Brazil, Acuff. I just think Arkansas has a little bit more weapons, a little bit more firepower.
yeah, I would agree there. I think they're just too hot right now.
BYU Gonzaga, 6 BYU, 3 Gonzaga. This is an interesting one as well. Obviously, like we said, BYU might have the best individual player in the country, but what else do they have besides that? Their second best player's out for the year. So it's going to be Debansa against the solid teamwork of Gonzaga and Mark Few. I think I trust Mark Few and his system more than I trust one player.
Yeah, I mean, this game will come down to if Gonzaga can adjust quick enough to not playing insurance salesman outside of St. Mary's. And I said last night, having that player, the NBA player, arguably the best player in college ball right now, is the X factor. So I'm going to go with the Cougars.
Okay. Flip it up.
I'll go tails.
Okay.
We got tails. We got tails.
Cougs.
The Mormons move on.
Cookies. The crumble cookie Cougars.
Yeah.
Okay. Missouri.
Yeah, I think Queens. They exert
Bye-bye,
enough.
Queens.
They exert too much against Purdue, and Missouri does not miss as many shots as Purdue does. That's my scenario there.
I get it. So this is another one that I hate because 9 St. Louis and 1 Michigan. This is another one where I would probably pick St. Louis to win another game, but I'm not picking them to beat Michigan. When you have a Mara, you have Yaxel Lindenberg. I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is great, but he's only one man.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Michigan has the depth to throw a lot of guys at them, and it's just too much. I mean, it would be a ridiculous feat for them to get on to the Sweet 16 there. But, yeah, Michigan.
All right. Number 12, Akron. Number 4, Alabama. So kind of the same theory here. I mean, Akron shoots enough to beat anybody. Like when Akron's on, I really do think they can beat anybody just because they're capable of scoring 100 in any game. But so is Alabama. And Alabama's more battle-tested, so I'm going to have to go Bama here.
Yeah, this game will probably be like 117 to 98.
Not a lick of defense is going to be played.
No. And knowing Alabama, Holloway will be back by then, So I'm gonna go with Alabama too.
All right, so number 6, Tennessee, number 3, Virginia. I mean, I just said earlier, I'm not particularly impressed by Virginia. I think they're probably the weakest 3 seed. Obviously you guys know we're Tennessee fans, but this feels like a Nate Ament game. Maybe Jacoby Gillespie, the Maryland kid playing against Virginia. I don't know. Maybe something comes out, and I don't know. It just feels like Tennessee wins this. I don't think we're going out in round 2.
My logic here, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I mean, I'm not terribly scared of Virginia. They don't have a player that terrifies me. I mean, we've seen, the best of the best in the SEC all year, just watching as Tennessee fans.
Mm-hmm.
But when Rick Barnes goes against teams that play a similar style to us, he normally wins that game. I mean,
Right.
that's it happened with the UCLA in the second round last year. We normally it's a war of attrition in that game, and we
Yep.
grit our way to a win. So that's my logic there. I think Tennessee does make the Sweet 16 for the fourth year in a row.
All righty. So then number 10, Santa Clara, and number 2, Iowa State. Again, like just the way these matchups are falling, it keeps being two teams that I like. Santa Clara could beat a lot of teams in the second round. I don't think they can beat Iowa State. I mean, Iowa State has the perfect mix of elite shooting and elite defense. I think Iowa State does enough.
Yeah, Iowa State's one of my 2-seed wagons, so
yeah,
I'm going with the Cyclones.
All right, Sweet 16 time it is.
Man, what a matchup there.
Yeah, it is. It's again two storied franchises. I think you can already classify Shire as a storied coach. I think, but I just think you have to go Duke here, man. I mean, it's the best player. St. John's, I don't think they're going to have enough offense to keep up with Duke. I just see St. John's ending here. I would love for St. John's to go further, but I just don't see it.
I think Rick Pitino bends over John Shire and spanks his baby ass as the more experienced coach. That's really what I think happens. I think this was supposed to happen for St. John's last year, and just nonsense happened. I mean, like I said, we both agreed they're an underseeded 5 seed, probably the most underseeded 5 in a while. So yeah, I guess we're going to go to the coin.
Heads.
All right. Tails. Damn it. Carlos Boozer.
I said heads.
Yeah, it's tails.
Exactly. So you win.
Oh, good thinking.
Jeez Louise, man.
You know me, Bryce. I'm a little bit of a waterhead sometimes.
So
I'll say this before you say anything. UConn is also the other 2-seed wagon to me.
Agreed. This is where the Izzo magic runs out, and I don't think there's anything more than that.
Yeah. I think coach can only do so much, and UConn's just that good to me. Yeah. Especially just coming off that loss, I think they're going to have the determination.
It's Alex Caravan's last run. I mean, he's won 2 titles. Yeah, UConn's going.
All right.
This is also where Nebraska's little fairy tale ends. I think you could see them losing to Vandy. But if they do get by Vandy, they're not getting by Florida. Florida's another team that's kind of wagony. I think Florida would honestly, I really don't even think this game would be that close. I think Florida would win by 10.
Yeah. Florida's just too good. The only thing that scares me though is, they relied on Walter Clayton a lot last year to get to the Final Four and eventually win that national championship. But I think their bracket is just their path is not as hard this year, and they had to get through UConn, Texas Tech last year. I think even without Clayton, they're gonna have a run here.
This one, I mean, we can move on, right?
Yeah. The Ivy League magic runs out.
All right. So the other side of the Sweet 16, number 1 Arizona, number 4 Arkansas. We might disagree here. You're a big SEC guy. Not that I'm not, but
I'm not going to pick Arkansas.
Again, Arizona is just berries and Pete. Yeah, give me Arizona to beat number 4 Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean Arkansas is good. Arizona sees teams like Arkansas, every other game in the Big 12.
Exactly.
So I think they're used to that style, and they'll move on to the Elite 8.
Number 6 BYU, number 10 Missouri. Again, if you think DeBance is going to take them this far, why can't he take them past 10 seed Missouri?
I would agree. I mean, it's just one of those things where I think, he's that good of a player as far as this run is going here.
Yep. Totally fair.
Best game of the Sweet 16.
Yep. This is going to be high scoring. I think Alabama can make Michigan kind of play the game they don't really want to play, but I think Michigan is deep enough and talented enough that they can still win that type of game.
I would agree. I think it's going to be, I mean, just like any Alabama game, it's going to be bet the over, assuming Holloway's back. And but yeah, I think Michigan just has too much.
Yep. Chalky. Okay. Number 2, Iowa State. Number 6, Tennessee. This is, I hate to do it, but I'm going to be objective here. I think Iowa State just has too many weapons. I think, me and you have been honest about it. If Nate Mint and Jacoby are both off, I
mean, even if one of them's off in this game, it's curtains.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need like performance of the season from both of your best players, and then you're probably going to need a third to have. Bishop Boswell's going to have to go crazy or something too. I think Iowa State just has too much.
Yeah, they're 4th on defense on Ken Palm. I said it last night with me and Jim. The coin got Tennessee to the Final Four. But if I was being objective, just filling out my own bracket, this is where I would have Tennessee's run ending. So, yeah.
All right. Elite Eight time.
A rematch.
Yeah, third time. So, UConn smacked them the first time, and St. John smacked them the second time. So, this is just going to go down to who's got the better players, who's ready to play. I think this is where St. John's magic runs out. I got to go UConn here.
I would agree. It's just the fact that you lost to this team by 20. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough for St. John's to have that performance again. To hold UConn to 52, I mean, that doesn't happen a lot.
Well, and all the other teams you've had St. John's beat to this point, I mean, they're going to be, this isn't something that they've been used to. UConn is a lot more battle tested. They just went back to back. It's hard to pick against UConn here.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So
rematch of last year's Natty.
Yep. And I think that's going to be right in the minds of Kelvin Sampson's boys. I think Houston can do enough. I think Houston wins. I really do. I think Florida gets knocked off here, and Todd Golden goes to tender and moves the age setting down all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it, talking about the Florida-Nebraska matchup up there. Without Clayton, it's mostly their front line, and then Boogie Fland, and it's just I don't think they have that X factor this year to beat a team of Houston's caliber, especially with the extra motivation that Kelvin Sampson and his bunch are going to have. So
that's the thing about Houston is they have Kingston Flemings is probably going to be a top 10 pick, but I mean, they have just a full team of people that are good. They play solid team basketball, and
100%.
A lot of people don't like him, but Sampson's a great coach, man.
Yeah.
This is where I think only having one star player, even though he's probably going to be the top pick, this is where that comes to bite you. I think Arizona knocks off the Fighting DeBances.
Yep. Too deep. And DeBances will probably be, on fumes by this point, just exerting as much as he's had to. Yeah. I think
they could. The thing is BYU could lose in the first round, and he's still going to be a top 2 pick. So,
yeah,
how much motivation is he really going to have at this point?
Yeah, 100%.
I would love to pick Iowa State here, but again, I think Michigan's a wagon. I think they're too deep.
Yeah. I mean, this to me might be the most entertaining game of the Elite
100%.
Eight. Unless DeBanza just goes for 50, this is going to be the game to watch in the Elite Eight. And yeah, I agree. I think Michigan is that good.
Yeah.
If it were up to me, I think they're the best team in the field. So, Final Four.
Final Four. So, this is chalky, but it's not like too chalky. So we had Penn in the Sweet 16 for Christ's sake.
Yeah, we had BYU to the Elite Eight. I mean,
and
so it's not terrible.
All right, so in the Final Four, you have number 2 UConn versus number 2 Houston, and then on the other side, you have number 1 Arizona and number 1 Michigan. God, can you imagine that?
That's an elite Final Four.
So UConn and Houston. Here's the thing: these are two teams who've played in the championship game recently. UConn's won 2 recently. Houston has been close a few times. Honestly, I think Houston gets back. I really do. I think Houston gets back to the championship game. I think Kingston Fleming's is so good as their point guard, man. I think they do enough. I really do. I think they can get past UConn.
Yeah. I would agree. Kingston's a beast. We saw it when Tennessee was able to come out on top in November in Las Vegas. I mean, Kingston was stirring the drink that day for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, battle tested over the last few years, but yeah, I think Kelvin is ripe to get back to the championship game once again.
So that leaves Arizona and Michigan. I know I said that Arizona is probably my favorite overall team. But now that I think about it, I kind of like talked myself out of it. I think Michigan – I know Michigan's deeper. And I think at this point in the tournament, you'd be silly to go away from that. I think it's a Michigan-Houston championship game.
Yeah. I mean, Arizona is – they're very good. But I think Michigan is great. I mean, like I said, I think they're the best team in the field. So, yeah, I'm in agreement there.
And I think we can go ahead and say Michigan would probably win this. I think Michigan can grind and play a low scoring game like Houston would want to. And Michigan, I think these are probably, I mean, it makes sense. This is our championship game. I think these are probably the 2 deepest teams. I mean, both of these teams go 9 deep, 10 deep. But I do think Michigan would win in this scenario. Houston gets a back-to-back heartbreakers.
Yeah, Michigan to me is the best team in the field. They're deep, they're good, they can play multiple styles, which is huge in March. You got to have versatility. You can't be one-dimensional to get there and make it happen and win it all. But the thing about March is, man, the best team doesn't always win. I think motivation matters a lot. I think Houston finally breaks through here. So I guess we're going to go to the coin.
Okay, coin flip decides it all.
Tails. I'm going tails.
Okay.
The Houston Cougars are your national champion.
Let's go. That would be kind of cool. I wouldn't even be mad at that.
Is their nickname the Cougars? Am I tripping balls?
No, it is.
All right, good.
Cougars and Wolverines.
Dangerous animals. But yeah, Houston, I mean, that's my thing about March. Last year, I don't think the best team won it. I think I think Houston was the best team. Just Clayton was going nuts. I think you could see something similar here with Kingston and the motivations there. So, yeah, I think Houston gets it done.
There you have it, folks.
We got to pick the tiebreaker. Is this going to be high scoring, low scoring, medium scoring?
Medium. I'd say.
Let's say 156.
Yeah, I was literally thinking in the 150s because it's like 70 to 70 something.
Beautiful.
There you have it, folks. Make sure you bet on this. No, don't do that.
You got any more parting thoughts?
No, I mean, there are some teams that I just wish were in a different spot, right? Like I said, I think I would pick Santa Clara if they were in a different – just the way that it falls for them isn't the best. Same thing with Akron, I would say this. Here are my teams to watch. Lower seeds, Santa Clara, Akron, Penn, Missouri, if you want to count that, and South Florida. Those are kind of my lower seeds that I'm really interested in.
Honestly, I think Tennessee is the best of the middle seeds, besides St. John's. They're certainly the best six seed. But
Yeah.
St. John's is in another region, so Tennessee could do it. I'm just going from a Tennessee angle now, but it would take combined 50 points from Nate and Gillespie to get there. It might take more, honestly.
Here's the thing. I tell you all the time, if Nate is playing like Nate, like he can, then I really do think Tennessee could beat anybody in a single game. But it's just hard to rely on that for, you're playing the best of the best. You're not playing Mississippi State or Ole Miss. Like you're playing the best of the best. So
yeah,
I don't know. But then again, this year we felt really good. There's been previous years where we've felt very good about Tennessee making a Final Four, and it obviously didn't happen. So maybe this is the year where nobody expects it, and
this March. 2019 and 2022. Those were the years people pinned like this is when it's going to happen. Didn't happen. But yeah, if the bracket falls like it has in the past for Tennessee, like 2018 when you lost to Loyola, they made the Final Four. You should have won that game. 2023 lost to FAU. You probably should have won that game. They made the Final Four.
Oregon State.
It has opened up for Tennessee before with the teams that we didn't think had a chance. So if it opens up and they're playing well, we can finally break down the door. But at a certain point, you are who you are, especially now where it's go time now. And Tennessee, they have the tendency to turn it over a lot, miss a lot of free throws, and just go stagnant. So I think that keeps them out of the Final Four once again. But I do think they have enough to get to the Sweet 16 for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree. It's a good thing Austin Peay's not in it because you're running that bitch.